Hello and welcome. My name is Gene, and today we're just gonna do a little seated sequence that gets into some lengthening of the legs, some expanding of the chest. Little bit of general foci today without any specific muscle group being targeted. As always, just nice to move the body around a little bit. So, starting off in a seat, somewhere on your mat, so that your heart is facing whatever you deem to be the forward-facing point. Breathing in through your nose. Breathing out through the nose, sighing or yawning through the mouth. Eyes opened or closed as you take about 5 or so breaths here for you. Good place to encourage the brain to soften a little bit. And by that, mostly noticing the thoughts that you're carrying within you, the noise. What thoughts are a little louder than others, and can the volume on those particular thoughts be turned down, at least for your practice? And then when you've had a moment for those thoughts to be still, we'll add a little movement here by breathing in. Arms are going to reach up to your sides. And then just wiggling the right hand on your exhale, tipping your body to the right side of your space. Think about reaching over yourself with that left arm. Now your right hand on the ground. You can either reach more to that right side or even bend the right elbow just so that the forearm finds the ground. Think about reaching through the left side of your ribs as you inhale. And then grounding into your left sit bone while you exhale, just so that you create that anchor point of trust. One more breath here. All right, take that breath in. Next, press into your right hand just so that the body tips to center. And then going back to that right side as you exhale, twisting from your ribs, looking over your right shoulder. Take a breath in here. And then breathe out. Few points of arrival. Your left hand will make contact with your right leg. Right hand has that kickstand behind the right hip. And all the while, just peeking a little further over your right shoulder. Good work. One more breath for you here. And then breathing in, looking back just a little further if that feels good. On the exhale, the twist is undone back to center while the arms reach back to a T. Take a breath in, pressing the hands in toward each other, palms rotated to face inward. And then exhale, reaching forward, Sukhasana fold, until your hands find the ground. Back of the neck relaxes just enough to feel yourself relinquish control of the need to hold your head up in any particular way. And it is here, as you've started to move the body a little bit, as you've begun to focus the body into the idea of moving, that if you have an intention, if you have a thought, this could be a good time to just let that thought shine forward. Nice work. Take another breath here. And then breathing in, press into the palms, hands wide and back out to a T. And then wiggling the left fingers, exhale, tipping your body to the left side, lateral seated stretch. Right hand reaches over in a crescent as you breathe in. And then press into your right sit bone as you breathe out to create that extension sensation. Now, slightly different intention setting technique. Usually it's good to find some stillness in the body before creating your focus. But if you ever find yourself just reaching for an intention, if it's not coming to mind right away, even just moving the body a little bit, like you're making space, clearing some of those places in your mind, can help make that room for intention when you need it. All right, taking that next breath in, you're pressing into the left hand, body tips back to your center. And then seated twist to the left as you breathe out, look over your left shoulder. While your right hand finds the left leg, left hand makes a kickstand behind the left hip. Breathe. Great work. Another breath here. Think of pressing in through your sit bones as you breathe in. And then looking over your left shoulder a little further as you breathe out. Next, inhale, just noticing the place that you've arrived at in this twist. And then exhale, undo the twist. Arms come back out to a T one more time. Take a breath in, rotating the palms internally while you press the air in toward itself. And then shifting back on the sit bones this time. Exhale, legs will lengthen forward, and then arms come down behind you, fingertips pointing toward the top of your mat. Take a breath in. Elbows are going to bend as you start leaning back. Forearms will eventually find the mat behind you as you just take a little mongoose pose, counter posture to your fold from earlier. Another great place to really think about your intention setting as you've begun to move the body more mindfully, more focused. Holding this one for just another few more breaths. Take a moment again, just to connect with what you're feeling in your body. Legs are reaching forward through the backs of the calves. even pressing down into the mat with your sit bones, just so that your spine gets some nice bit of lengthening here. One more inhale though. And one more exhale. Good job. Breathing in, you're going to press into your hands on your mat so that the arms straighten. And then exhale, shake everything out. Drink some water if you have water in your space. So, now that we've moved the body a little bit, we'll start adding a few more postures to hold and experience for yourself. So what you're going to want to do is orient yourself so that you bend the knees, feet planted on the mat, and then hands come back behind you while you heel toe the feet to those outer edges. Take a breath in here, elbows bent slightly, fingers to the center of the mat again. And then exhale, just tipping your knees side to side a few times. This can be a nice little back release, as it certainly pops my spine a little bit. But just starting to integrate some internal and external hip rotation. You'll also start to feel this postural movement along your hip flexors, the fronts of your quadriceps. But we'll just take another couple breaths here in this movement. Nice work. Taking a breath in, your feet come back on the mat, knees, knock knee in, and then heel toeing your feet together as you exhale. Hands come down just to connect to the fronts of your legs. Take a breath in. Left leg is going to go nice and long. While you breathe out, right knee extends to the right side with the bend in the knee. Now you want to think about pressing the side of your left foot, left leg I should say, against that inner sole of the right foot. So, head to knee pose. Setting up here, you're going to breathe in, twist from your ribs toward that left leg now. And then exhale, fingertips on the mat as you walk your hands toward your foot. Now as you start to settle into this pose, this might feel like a bit of an ask on your left leg. So you can always take that blanket with you, roll it up, and then set it underneath that left knee. You'll still have space for your right foot to be against the left leg, but creating a protected micro bend for that left knee can also make this posture a little more accessible. Just like your seated forward fold from earlier, think about relaxing through the back of the neck, all so that your forehead meets the knee, hence the head to knee pose. Nomenclature, we'll say. And again, using this practice as a way to move the body so that even if an intention isn't quite coming to your mind, all of these movements are clearing space, almost like if you have clutter in the head, there's a lot of things happening around you. Sometimes just moving the body intentionally for movement's sake can give you the space to create focus and concentration. So, you're about halfway through your posture. If you'd like a little bit more movement here, take a breath in, walk your hands along the ground so that you're basically facing this right leg, And then exhale, left hand grabs that right bent knee, while your right hand makes a crescent arc over your body. So this will now have your right ear, or your left ear I should say. Directions are always fun. Left ear is facing the left knee, and that right arm again making a crescent arc. This is called your Parivrita Janusirsasana, your revolved head to knee pose. So you took about 10 breaths or so. We'll take another 10. You're already 2 in now as you breathe. Doing such good work. Another 4 breaths, really just observing what your body is conveying to you here. Every breath a word in passing between the brain and the body. Nice. So, if you took this revolved head to knee pose, take another breath in here. And then on the exhale, undo that added twist so that you're now folded forward in head to knee. As we all gather here, inhale, hands on the mat, walk them gently in toward the center self. And then exhale, undo that twist in the ribs to face your version of center, so that from there, you can slide the blanket off that left leg, right knee, get some assistance as you reach that right leg to the center, and left leg joins it. Great place to shake it all out again. Drink some water if you have some need for that too, as we're just going to take that same posture from the other side. Alrighty, so when that movement has served you, when you've gathered yourself enough, come back to the orientation on your mat that serves you, taking a breath in through the nose. And then now it's the left leg's turn. The knee bends, foot on the mat, just open that left knee out to the side. Maybe you slide that right leg a little further past the edge of your mat if you want. And then, just like before, have your blanket nearby if you want to use it for that protected bend of the right knee. But when you're ready, take a breath in. The twist in the ribs engages your movement to that right leg. And then hands on the ground, fingertips on the ground. Breathe out. Start walking the fingers toward your right leg. Just like before. Encourage your body to arrive here at your pace. As you're here in this first section for 10 breaths. Nice deep head to knee pose today. Could certainly call it your featured posture if that's something that you lean into for your practice. Nice job. Another breath in here. And another breath out. Sigh it out through the mouth if you need to, just to give that tension back to the universe. Another couple breaths. Now, at the halfway point of this posture, if you'd like to try the revolved shape, take a breath in, hands are on the ground, just to twist the body over toward that left bent leg, and then right hand grabs your left leg, while you exhale so that the left arm takes that crescent arc over the body. Right ear is now towards your right knee, as maybe your eyes are directed to the crook of your left elbow. A lot of lefts and rights. Certainly is alright if you find yourself stumbling a little bit, trying to figure out what's left and what's right. Little secret for you, yoga teachers also have a fun time, as you have witnessed this class, trying to remember what left and right is. So, be present to yourself and breathe. Doing so good. Take another 4 more breaths here. Couple of things you can keep note of. Think about planting in that left sit bone nice and firmly on the mat so that you have your place to reach from. And that is something that can apply whether you are in your head to knee or whether you're doing this revolved variation. Take just 2 more inhales and exhales here. Alright, starting with if you took this revolved posture, take a breath in through the nose. And then exhale, your left arm twist the body gently back to face your right leg. From head to knee, inhale, the hands walk back to the center line of yourself, peeling the spine up. And then last movement to exhale, undo the twist, back to face your center. From there, the blanket slides off. Left knee gets some assistance, pointing toward the center of your mat. And then right leg joins the left, shake them out, drink some water. So we are about to go down to your spine for your final posture of your practice today. A little bit more yin flavored. Just enough movement to get yourself an iteration, but certainly a low movement experience today. For now though, we're going to take 1 more breath in through the nose, shift back on the sit bones, and then exhale, feet press in together as the knees fan out for a butterfly pose. Now we're really here just to get the spine a little flossed from some of those twists and folds. So when your butterfly is set, take a breath in. Arms are going to reach out to the sides once more, palms face forward. And then exhale, hollowing in your heart center as the hands curve inward. Nice work. Breathe in, arms reach out, chest reaches forward again. And then exhale, recede in your heart, just to give the spine and ribs a hug. Take a few more of these spinal flosses for yourselves. Maybe about 5 or 6, depending on your breath. Almost thinking of these cat-cows as a chance to massage your spine a little bit from the twists, the extensions, and the folds that you had today. Really switching up the order of operations a little bit. Normally would do cat-cows somewhere around the beginning of your practice. But if you want to change it up a little bit, try doing some cat-cows toward the end of your time on your mat. Be a nice way of giving your body a massage after the work you've done. But again, just approaching your practice from different perspectives. Maybe you find something that works for you. And one more just for good measure. Nice job. So, from this last cat-cow, take a breath in. Your hands are going to move to the knees as the spine straightens. And then, little bit of core stuff here. Arms are lifted as you reach the spine down to the mat. Feet splay to the sides. Just so that your back meets the earth. Now you might hear me start to sit, but you are more than welcome to stay exactly as you are. Mainly because it's a little easier to convey things when there's some proximity to a microphone versus shouting from the spine. But you are welcome to stay as you are for sure. So as mentioned, a little more of a yin practice today, a little less movement oriented, but still movement focused. Movement for the sake of movement can certainly be an apt intention if nothing came to mind throughout your journey today. But here is the time just to notice how the heart's feeling, how the ribs are feeling, how the chest as a whole entity is feeling. Legs are soft, with the feet again splayed to the sides, spine on the ground, shoulders relaxed so that you really feel the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. And remembering your inhales and exhales, just as you remember to leave any tension behind, any stiffness that you might have felt this practice. And with that said, take a few moments just to be with your thoughts, to be with how you're feeling, and enjoy your Savasana. Thank you for everything that you do on and off of your mat. I'll bring you back to the here and now shortly. starting to bring some awareness back to your body. As the time has come to gently guide yourself back to this place you know, this plane that your body inhabits. Indeed, a body that becomes aware of air moving through the nostrils while you breathe in through the nose. A body that becomes aware of the chest rising, of the lungs expanding. A body that becomes aware of the emptiness that follows as you breathe out through the nose, sigh or yawn through the mouth. Connect with that emptiness. It is a place of possibility, of nascent dreams. What can be born from this moment that you are making for yourself? And from that place of nascent possibility, the fingertips and toes might begin to wiggle. Just like the wrists and ankles might begin to circle. The neck could tip itself side to side once or twice. But as ever, it's your practice. So choose any movements for yourself that honor and strengthen your return, your tether to this corporeal plane. And if you are still on your spine, you are more than welcome to remain there in that conjured Savasana state to end your practice today. Just like you're welcome to meet me in a seat, if that feels more comfortable for you. The arms, legs, and eyes seal this yin practice of yours in a way that resonates with you. And then coming back to whatever your mind was carrying this practice. Not so much a specific intention like general, but allowing this practice to remind you that you don't always have to have the answers. You don't always have to have a reason for moving. Maybe just moving and being in a space is enough. Attaching yourself to the idea of needing reasons can serve you, but know that it doesn't always have to be the case. As long as you're making intentional time for yourself to exist authentically, what better reason is there than just saying, I need time for me? In fact, that could be a nice way to affirm your practice today. Take one more breath in through your nose. And on your exhale, remind yourself deep in your bones, I honor the time that I give myself. And with that sense of honoring your time, it's been my humble happy honor to have spent this time with you on your mat, as you've spent it with me. Thank you for trusting me to guide you on this more yin-flavored journey with your mat today. May you always live this life in your authentic way, bringing your shine and radiance to this lovely planet that we share. The luminosity in me cherishes, respects, and will always celebrate the luminous blooming heart in you. Shanti. Namaste. Again, I offer you my sincere gratitude for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me on your mat. I hope that this practice of intentional time setting for yourself without a specific reason, just to say I'm spending time for me, can serve you in whatever way you need it to most. So until we meet each other on our mats again someday, may this world continue to be kind to you. May you always find lessons in the rising of the next sun and the setting of the sun that same day. Namaste.